This tutorial is going to talk about how to tune a guitar by ear. We have another tutorial on Six String Country that works more like a tuner, where we play the pitches and then you can match up each string because the pitches we're using are in tune, so you can kind of match pitch and tune your guitar that way. But this tutorial is really going to talk about what we do in a situation where we don't have access to a tuner or computer or anything like that, and we have to tune our guitar really just by ourselves and with the guitar itself, which is totally possible. The main consideration is if we're playing with other people. If we're playing with other people, we have to be in tune with them. So we have to have a common pitch. And there is a kind of standard tuning that people use in popular music. It's called A440. That's what tuners are set to unless you mess with the settings. That's what pianos are tuned to. So some instruments, like a piano, they don't have these nice convenient tuning knobs, and so you really have to tune to that piano. So the first step is for all of the instruments to make sure the pitch that you're tuning against is in tune. So for this example, you can use my E string, my low E string, and let's make sure all the low E strings sound like this one. Give you just a second. And if you're with three guitar players or a guitar and a mandolin and whatever, just make sure everyone's E sounds the same before you start jamming if you care about being in tune. From there, we can tune the rest of the strings all off of this low E string, which is nice. So I'm in tune right now, but let me just kind of mess up my tuning a little bit. And there we go, there we go, there we go. And now let's see. Not good, right? But let's get it back in tune just by ear, okay? The trick on the guitar is using this low E string to find these other pitches. We know the names of the strings are E, A, D, G, B, and E, right? So if I find an A note on this low E string, and I know this low E string is in tune, I can tune this A string. So this 5th fret of the low E string is an A note, so let's use that. Now we have to match that pitch. Does that sound higher or lower to you? We know the A string's out of tune. We're going to only mess with this A string tuning knob. We're not going to touch this E one because we know that's in tune already. So that's in tune. Is that higher or lower? This can be hard for people at first. This is lower, right? So we need to make this string tighter, whichever way your tuning knobs go. Start with, this is a great way to break a string. If you just start cranking on this tuning knob, especially when we get up to the G, B, and E up on the higher part of the guitar neck, it's really easy to break a string, so let's look at that as my disclaimer. Just go nice and slow, and let's make small adjustments and see if we can get it to match. Well, that's pretty close. Make it still a little low. All right. Well, that's pretty close right there. Maybe a little low yet. All right. Good enough for jazz, as they say. All right. The next string. So now we have the E and the A in tune. Next, we need to get this D in tune. What does that sound like to you? We know the A string's in tune. We're going to go 5th fret again, because again, the 5th fret of the A string is a D string. Not a D string, is a D note. So the 5th fret of A is a D, and we need this third, well, it's the 4th string, however you want to number them. But we need this string to be a D note. So we're gonna, we know this one's in tune. How does this sound? Sounds a little high, right? So let's go small adjustments. Loosen it a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. That sounds pretty good. So far we've got this low E, A, and D string in tune. Now we need to get the G string in tune, and if you're noticing a pattern, there is one. On these first strings, 5th fret, 5th fret, and again 5th fret. 5th fret of D is a G note, and then we want this open G string to be a G. So that's in tune. That is, what do you think? That is high. We need to loosen it. pretty good right there. All right. Good. Now we have the low E, A, D, and G strings in tune. This is the one that breaks the pattern. This is a B note, so we need to find a B. And that's the 4th fret of the G string. So it's 5th, 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 and then 4th of the G string is what we're going to use to match this pitch. How does that sound? We know this is in tune. How's the open B string sound? Yeah, it's high. That's pretty good right there. Okay? Back to the 5th fret for this one. So we know the B string's in tune. If we go to the 5th fret, that's an E note, and we can tune this high E string. That's going to be, what do you think? That's in tune. This one's not. It's a little low. Close. All right. We should be in tune then. Hey, not bad. All right, so that is how you tune a guitar by ear.